Good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Cody Builds. Today we got an exciting one for you. We're on a bit of an adventure today. My buddy Jeff is down here giving me a hand. We're down at my dad's place right now. And we're gonna rescue the front clip and the hood out of the corner of the shop here, get it back up to the garage and finally get the whole project back in one place. We also gotta stop, grab the chassis from another location. So the first thing we need to do this morning is get all this mess cleaned up, get the front clip, the hood, the radiator, all that stuff out of the corner of the shop, get it loaded up on the truck and head back north. So we're gonna get after it right now, start getting these concrete blankets cleaned up and dig out all these parts. All right, that wasn't too bad. We already got the front clip, the hood, and the front bumper out. And this thing, pleasantly surprised, is in better shape than I remember, actually. There's a little bit of rust here on the inner fender, right up in here. But other than that, it's in pretty darn good shape. The core support's a little rough. We may have to do something with that. It's been modified on a couple times, but I think it'll clean up and paint up just fine for now. So we got just, again, same thing, rust on this side, just a little rust where the fender's attached. The hood hinges attached, but other than that, it's in pretty good shape. I think we'll put the grill facing forward all the way up against the front of the...
Okay.
Got it there.
I got it, buddy.
Okay.
That's the edge there, sir.
Perfect.
What do you want to do?
Let's go,
up and over?
yeah. Not going anywhere.
That's right.
All right, we're at stop number 2 of 3 today, and we're here to pick up the chassis. So I've had parts stashed all across Illinois. We just got back from about an hour-and-a-half drive with the front clip and the hood. Now we're picking up the chassis and the bed. So we got a couple things we need to do first. I bought these cheap roller wheels off Facebook Marketplace just to roll the truck around. Well, the tires on these are garbage. They won't hold air for more than 5 minutes. So we're gonna pull those off, put on our new gunny wheels there on the back. And then also to secure the bed, there's an area that's interfering from all the modification we've done. I'm gonna crawl under there with the cutoff wheel while Jeff changes out the tires so we can get the bed to sit down on the frame. We're gonna strap it down on the trailer and make sure everything's secure. So that's the next steps here. We're gonna knock that out and hopefully get this truck loaded up on the trailer and get it back to the shop. Those things are kind of annoying too, just getting them lined up right, figuring out where they... Yeah, there you go.
That only took me 10
Yeah.
times. Get back here.
All right, so the interference I was having, I already cut the piece out, but in this mount right here, this bracket that came down to the bottom of the frame here was angled just like this one was over here. And that was actually hitting on the top side of the frame here because we modified all this, we've changed it up. This is not how the factory was. So I went ahead and notched that on either side. I'll clean that up a little bit better when we're back at the shop. But for now, this should allow me to drop the bed all the way down onto the frame and get it strapped down. And it won't just be riding on those 2 little 1/8" pieces of metal there. So we should be able to do that. Jeff's got one side done over here. We're gonna get the other wheel mounted up. The gunny wheels that I have aren't the right bolt size, so I just got these adapters that get us from a 5x4.75 out to the 56 style gunny wheel. So we'll go ahead and get those thrown on and we'll get this thing loaded up on the trailer. this guy over there. And then I'll lift this up and you can grab the wood out of there. And then this should hopefully, oh, we gotta come back here. Okay, now it sits down kind of where it's supposed to. Much better. Before, when I first set it down, I was so confused because the angle of like the trim line was like angled down, you know. Look at the hair. Look at this. This is big time. Sorry. I think we can push from there. Let's see if we can get it rolled up on the first chunk. Let's do it on the count of 3, all right? 1, 2, 3. Nope. Oh, crud. Okay. There we go. Okay, well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna, oh, okay, we can try that, yeah. Okay, can you just hold that right there? Coming up. All right. Yeah, okay, look. Yell at me if it changes. All right, we got the trailer all loaded up. I was just telling Jeff, the trailer kind of looks like we're the Beverly Hillbillies moving to town here with this looking a little ratty hot rod. But here's what we got going, guys. We got the chassis in the bed, all loaded up, strapped down, front clip. Got the hood back here. So the next stop is back at the shop, get all the stuff unloaded. And the rest of the afternoon, we're going to be trying to square the cab up on the frame and get the front cab mounts welded in place so that once and for all, we can get this thing bolted down onto the chassis. So that's what's up for the rest of the afternoon. We'll see you guys back at the shop.
Okay, just in case there's a problem, which one's up? That one?
Yep, the one right above it. Keep her coming. Beautiful.
Now, why was that easier than getting it on?
Physics. What goes up must come down, right? You may have to play the...
Okay, 3-point turn.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Right here is good enough for now.
Okay.
Need your help before the end of the day moving it, but it's good enough for now. All right, here's what we got ourselves into today, guys. I got the whole truck in the garage. I am so thrilled about this. I can't wait to see it fully assembled, honestly. We're gonna start working on trying to get the cab onto the chassis, but this is my first time seeing the bed where it needs to be with the frame on the ground, things sitting somewhat level. This thing's got a mean stance to it. It sits very low right now. It will sit a little bit higher because these wheels are a little shorter than what we're gonna go with, but it looks so good. I'm so excited about this. So we're gonna go grab a bite to eat, get the trailer out of the alley, and we'll be right back. And when we get back, we're gonna be working on getting the cab mounts lined up for this thing. But first we've got to drill a few cab mounts out in the back. I patched these. We haven't drilled the holes out for them yet. That was intentional. So we're gonna square the cab front to back, get the back two bolted in first, and then tighten those down a little bit so that we can square the front up, mark where our holes need to be, and then we'll sandwich all the parts and pieces together. Once we're happy with where it's sitting, I'll tack in the mounts onto the firewall there, and then we'll pull the cab off, weld it all in, and then we should be able to set it down for good on the chassis. There we go. We got some space down. Oh yeah, you know what we're gonna do, Jeff? We're going to put the bed on the stand, and that will make our lives a lot easier. I wasn't even thinking about it, but we're making life way too hard on ourselves. I'm trying to figure out what's what, and I can't hardly move under here. I feel like I'm being born into the world here. It's very graceful on camera. We'll cut that part out. All right, to make life a little bit easier for us, we're gonna take the legs off this stand. We're gonna pull the bed off, set the bed on the stand, then we've got that mobile which can move around. And then we'll also have access to the back side of the cab and the frame. Just help square things up. It'll make life a whole heck of a lot easier. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these braces removed off of the stand now. You look and see if we're clear of the frame on your side.
If we hold it upright, yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah. No, we're good.
I'll just come up a hair more. It won't hurt anything to come up a little higher.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Boy, we're just running out of room everywhere. Hold on.
I can. Oh, there we go.
Okay. Now the trick's gonna be getting this out from under the cherry picker, which I don't think we're gonna have enough room for. You know what we can do though is I can go backwards. We can pull the truck forward and It's like a game of Tetris.
Yeah.
We can just slide it, leave it right there, and then we'll do what we need to do here with the cab. Right there's good. Okay. Perfect. Whew. All right, so we did the shop shuffle here and got the bed up on the dolly, and now we've got the cab sitting over the chassis here. So this gives us a better opportunity to work from the back side here and make our measurements. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get everything squared up where it needs to be and get our holes marked where the patched body mounts in the frame need to be drilled out. All right. From the inside of the rocker to the frame there is 18.5 on the nose. We still gotta go that way significantly.
Okay.
So go, stop right there. Oops.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Come back to me a little more right there. Stop. I'm gonna put a block of wood under the cross member right in the center. And we've got the two under the floor pans in the front. And what that should allow us to do once it's sitting down, these aren't, they'll slide a little bit. So I think we should be able to make minor adjustments. Go ahead and lower the cab down. All right, now we should, I think, be able to shuffle it on the, so it's not hanging from the cherry picker and moving all over the place. Okay, quickly learning what a pain in the ass lowriders are to work on. Ooh, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna drop a screwdriver through the body mount holes so I can see where they line up. That'll help us get it centered on the cross member. And then all we'll need is a side-to-side measurement. Sorry, I'm kind of figuring this out as we go. You know, it's even better than the screwdrivers would be the actual bolts we're using. We're not too far off. I think we actually need to go forward just a hair more. Just not much. Oh, right there. Yeah, let's see where that's at. Just make sure those bolts are standing straight up. Yeah, that's almost exactly where we need to be, front to back.
Okay.
So side to side, let's take a couple measurements off the body to the frame. If it's within a 1/16, we're gonna be in good shape. Better than from the factory. 17.5. And this is 18.25. So we need to go 3/8 towards you.
Yes, 3/8 towards you.
Okay. Oh, that might have been it right there.
Your bolt's a little tilted. Not
Yeah, I'm not too worried about that just yet.
Okay.
Okay, now we gotta go just a hair more. Let's see what that got us. Okay, that's 17, 13/16. So we should be 17 and 11/16 probably here. 17 and pretty well darn 13/16. So it's pretty well good side to side there.
Okay.
All right, so we dropped a couple bolts down through the bolt holes here. You can see them there. And those are going through the cab mounts in the cab and coming down to the brace here. We've pulled measurements off the body to the side of the frame in the back and the front, and we're pretty satisfied. We've got the cab square on the frame. We've got an even measurement in the front, even measurement in the back. The only thing we're not 100% sure on is if we are centered in this cross brace. But knowing we've got it centered side to side, I'm gonna mark these holes, lift the body up, and if we need to make an adjustment forward or backward on the cross member, we can just account for that once the cab is off, because the front mounts aren't set yet. So we'll have some play in what we can do in the front, and we can just make sure that we're actually centered on the cross member back here. So come around to this cab side here. You can see we've got the bolt holes We got the bolts in the mount holes here, so I'm gonna actually pull one of these out, and I don't know if this will reach all the way. I don't think it's going to. So I'll get a bolt, or I'll mark these. I'll either use this bolt or I'll get another bolt that fits tight in this hole. We'll load the bottom of that bolt up with paint and put a mark down on the cross member. Right, so I'm just gonna take the paint pen and load a bunch of paint up on the end of this. And then what we're gonna do, drop this down to the cross member. And I can see I got a really good mark on there, on that one. And then I'll come around and do the same thing on the other side. Perfect. Got a great mark on the cross member there. Worked out really good. Okay. I think now we can lift the cab off the frame and just pull the cab back away, and we should be able to now drill out the back two body mounts in the frame. And then once we've got those located, put the cab back on once again, put the back mounts in, and those are now going to be what locates us on the chassis. So those will be rigid where they sit, and we'll be able to better control where the front mounts go. We'll get the front squared up again, and we'll figure out where we need to tack in those floor pans. Go up a hair more. Okay, so how our look? Oh, our marks aren't too bad, right?
They're perfect.
Yeah.
Those marks are great.
So, actually, this is excellent. So, when I patched these, what I did was I actually center punched where I thought the holes should be. So if you get in close here, this one's not quite on the center punch. You can see it right at the tip of my finger there, but it's not far off. It's just behind that. And then we come over here. Look at that one. I hit that one smack dab right where it needs to be. So I think we're good. We're going to drill right where our paint marks are here. I like this one. Could even, man, it almost looks like it could come forward just a hair. But I'll take some measurements off this. We know side to side where these need to be now. All we need to do at this point is make sure we get centered on this cross member either way, so that the cab is centered across this cross member. So we're gonna go ahead, grab some drill bits. I'm gonna probably run a pilot hole through this, and then we'll run a hole saw bit that is the size of the body bushing that's gonna go through there. And then we'll be able to assemble the body bushings onto the frame finally, and then get the cab lined up with the bushings. Center that up side to side. That's our hole for that one. That's our hole for that one. All right, now we can drill these out.
All right.
There we go. All right, so we were starting to assemble this bushing kit, and I got this off, I'll be honest, I got this off Amazon, so it was a cheap kit. They're Prothane bushings, and then these center brackets for these, they're from a separate vendor on Amazon, but it said it works specifically with these bushings. Well, there's a couple issues. One, these are extremely tight. I had to actually press the bushings on. Maybe that's normal. But the second issue I'm running into is with the bushing kit, that's tight. You can see how much of a gap is in this. This would never tighten down to the frame. So I'm gonna have to trim this sleeve down. But for today's purposes, when we're not permanently mounting the cab down, we're just gonna go ahead and throw the bushings in. But just be aware, this is an Amazon kit, and I'll throw the link in the description. Just be aware if you're using that kit. I don't know if I got the wrong kit or what I got. The paperwork all says it's for the Ford truck, so I don't know. But we're definitely gonna have to modify that to make it work right. You can't, if we just tighten this down, one, that bushing's gonna be loose in there, so the cab's gonna bounce up and down. Two, the whole point of this crush sleeve is to keep you from crushing the urethane bushings too tight to one another. So what happens is you actually want a little bit of give in there to where this will cinch the bushings down tight to the frame. With a gap like that, unless our frame was 1/2 inch thick, there's no way that that's going to tighten up. So what I need to do is you can see there's the shoulder step that sits down in the frame there. That's pretty much the same thickness as the frame is. So realistically, that needs to be touching this bottom bushing. So what I'll do eventually, put these together, I'll measure what that gap is, and that's how much I'll take off the end of this sleeve. And then we should be able to tighten these down, give them just a little bit of crush before our sleeves inside touch. So that's the way that should work. For today's purposes, they're gonna work just fine, helping us get the cab lined up. So we got our top bushings on. We're gonna go ahead and slide the cab back in place now and drop the bolts through the mounts, and we'll loosely bolt these up for now, and then we'll locate the front brackets where those are gonna go.
Might have to go forward a little.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right, guys, it's the next day. Jeff and I ran out of time yesterday, and we really got hung up on that body mount situation, and I had to think about it, do a little research, got on the keyboard, did a little henpecking, tick, 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 and did a little research to try to figure out what the heck I was missing. So there's really limited information as far as like specifics on bushing size, and the more research I did, it's like, well, some people have problems with it fitting on their truck and some don't. I went back and forth, and what I ultimately came to the decision was that we definitely have a parts problem. So I've got on the bench here, I'm going to lay this out and show you guys. This is our sleeve, our bushing sleeve, and our bushing setup. This is a problem. No matter what you say, this is a problem. And yesterday I said it was the sleeve. I am leaning more towards the issue is the bushing, because what we're seeing on the truck is the back half of the cab is sitting lower than it should be. So what I've done for now is I've just put some shims in there, and we've got it shimmed up kind of where I want it at the moment. I don't think it's right. I still don't think it's right. I think these bushings are wrong, and these are Prothane bushings. The kit was, let's see, it'll be upside down here, but it was 6-110-BL. So I used that kit in conjunction with these bushing sleeves that I got off of Amazon. Where I'm leaning is that these Prothane bushings for my application are not going to work. I'm thinking that these sleeves are actually the appropriate size. Like we discussed yesterday, like the sleeves are bottomed out right now. You're not getting any bushing squish. This isn't going to tighten. It's going to rattle up and down on the frame. So one way or another, some of these parts are bad. And I'm betting on the bushing. When I got online last night and I did a little more research, I found some diagrams on Dennis Carpenter. The back bushings that they were showing for this truck are like twice the thickness of the ones that I have. And if you look here, that kind of makes sense. If we had a bushing that was twice as thick, the sleeves wouldn't bottom out. You'd be able to get some squish, and you'd be able to actually tighten this thing down. So I've gone ahead and I've ordered a set of those, and I'm going to return all this junk. It is frustrating to get parts that don't fit, but that's part of the game. You just got to overcome. So today, that's what we're doing. We're going to overcome. I've already started putting a little work in on the truck this morning. My goal for the rest of this video, we're going to see this truck complete. And by complete, I mean we're hanging the doghouse. We're going to hang the doors. We're going to put the bed on. Yes, it's all going to have to come off, but I need the motivation, and I need to see this truck, and I want you guys to see this truck. If you squint, you'll be able to see my vision. So that's what we're going for today. I've already dropped a couple of the bolts for the bed in, just to kind of position it where it needs to be. I've got the back of the cab shimmed. We clearly still have a problem because right now I just have the cab sitting on the mounts with no bushings, no nothing in there. So I think ultimately what's going to happen is this cab is going to come up maybe an inch or so, if not more. And then we're going to end up having to shim the back of the bed. We'll end up having to shim the bed up just a hair, maybe a half an inch or so, because Right now, if I take everything out of the back of this, the cab sits maybe an inch below where it's at now. Ultimately, this is all going to require some amount of shimming either in the cab or in the bed to get everything lined up, but I'm okay with that. We just need to be closer than we are with the bushings that we have. So I think the new kit's going to solve that problem, but for now, I'm going to get to throwing this door up, and yes, we're just throwing a couple bolts in it. I'm not worrying about lining body gaps or anything up. It's just strictly to get an idea how this truck's going to look because I'm curious. And I really want to see it as just like a full-blown truck. We'll do that. Then we've got to do a little bit of trimming up on the front clip up there. And then hopefully I'll be able to try and wrestle that into place by myself and get this thing hung on the cab and see what it looks like. All right, we've done this a couple times by ourselves already. So we kind of have the process worked out. The cab is sitting much lower than it was the last time we did this when it was up on the mount, on the dolly, so that's a positive. Okay, get this kind of in place there. All right, now we only got 2 bolts in this, so we don't want to go slam it around a whole bunch. And I didn't bother really, like I said, trying to line it up or anything, but look, it still closes so nice. I'm so happy with how that turned out. Okay, now I've already gone ahead and marked what I think I need to clearance these. It should be pretty darn close. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get these cut out with the cutoff wheel. All right, the next problem I'm going to run into is trying to move this doghouse by myself. And I've got it's going to have to come on and off a couple times. So I'm going to have to figure out a good way for me to do this by myself using the engine crane. So what I'm trying to figure out is what I'm going to rig up here. I think what I'm going to do is take a piece of lumber and put it between the front fender mounts, cut it the exact width it needs to be to hang on the front fender mounts here. And then we'll figure out how to attach that to keep it tight. And then I'll run a strap from that bar, from that piece of lumber up to the core support that we can hang from. And we should be able to pick it up with the cherry picker, move it into place and shimmy it where it needs to go without doing too much damage to the front of the truck. So that's what I'm going to attempt here. We'll see how it works. I think it'll work. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see. So I'm going to take some measurements, find some lumber, figure out what I got to do to make this all happen. All right, here's what I've come up with. Will it work? I do not know. We're going to take this 2x6. I'm going to set her up on top of the hinge here. I just got some lag bolts, and I'm going to run a lag through this hinge and into this board. And we shall see if this works. It's either going to work or fail in spectacular fashion. Either way, stick around to find out. Right, where there's a will, there is a way, boys. This is gonna work. Gonna go up. Now we just need to go in. Oop. All right, run into our second problem here, which is the cherry picker does not clear the frame. Lowrider problems. Hot rod problems. Okay, we just about got her in place here. Okay, I'm gonna throw a couple fender washers in here, just for the time being. All right, I'm just gonna set the front down on the front bushings. Set you there. All right, so very obviously the whole cab has to come up, right? We still don't have our bushings in the front. That's why the line's all goofy here. I'm pretty sure the back of the cab's gonna come up, and then we're gonna have to shim the bed up once that's all, like the cab and the front, once the cab and the front clip are all lined out. So really not a big issue. We just need to get the right parts here, which is why I'm a little disappointed, but that's okay. I was hoping to see it a little bit more together than this, but this is our first look at it here, and it's really hard to look past the body lines because they make it look like a turd when it's all out of whack. But have no fear, guys, we will sort that out. The other issue I ran into here, I wanted to take the hood hinges off so that I could set the hood on top. Well, all those lovely repairs that were done in the cab, it looks like we had some similar ones done. I just found this. I was seeing all this seam sealer, and I started picking at it, and I pulled this out, and it looks like he just took a piece of metal, folded it in there, and then caulked all around it. I mean, just more garbage work that screwed us in the long run. This inner fender is a little worse for wear than I thought it was. I'll have to decide what I want to do. If I want to just get all new inner fenders, they're kind of expensive, or if I want to go ahead and patch that one. We'll make that assessment as we get a little further along here, because the rest of this is all in fairly decent shape. It's not too bad. If we clean it up, it's going to look just fine. I need to do just a little bit more trimming on that side. I didn't quite clear my shock tower there, so we're going to have to trim that back just a hair more. Yeah, other than that, it all kind of lined up fairly well for what we're doing here. I mean, again, you can see very obviously that the front of the cab needs to come up because our fenders are hung here, but we've got this big gap here, which means this is low. The cab's low here. So as we pick the cab up, that's going to close that gap out. And then the cab itself will actually have to come up because the front's already a little bit higher than the back. So as the back comes up, that's going to throw our line off here. But again, we'll just shim the bed and that'll all be okay. So long ways to go yet, guys, but check it out. I got a pickup truck. Oh man, it's been so long since I've seen it remotely together. It feels really good just to see it as a complete truck. Complete. Meet Elsworth, everybody. Check this out. Don't pay attention to the body lines. We're going to sort all that out, as we've been saying. Just look at this thing, though, man. It's going to be so cool. I'm so excited about this. Gosh dang, I can't stop staring at it. I mean, it obviously is goofy. You got the body lines are all over the place. Nothing lines up. It will. Trust me, it will. It's going to look good. We just got everything loosely set on right now, but man, this is so motivating to think of where this truck was just a few months ago. The whole bottom half of that cab was missing, and now we got a pickup truck. Guys, this video is a perfect example of not giving up on your projects. Jeff and I ran into a huge roadblock yesterday. Did that stop me from coming out here and hanging sheet metal and making this thing just kind of look like a truck again? No, I needed that motivation. So I got out here. It doesn't look great. No, it doesn't, but it's not the finished product either. But for the first time since November of 2023, we actually can start to see the vision. We can start to see the truck. And it's all because every week I just chip away, and chip away. Something that might feel like a huge, daunting project, you can accomplish with just a few hours a week, every week. So it's all about staying consistent, getting out in the garage, and putting the work in. And that's everything we've been talking about on this channel for the last year. So, man, wouldn't even be here, I don't think, if it wasn't for this YouTube channel. It's been very motivating for me to continue to work on the project and push it forward. And I'm so thankful that you guys watch, because if you weren't watching, I wouldn't be making the videos. And I'm thankful for friends like Jeff, who helped me out this week so much, more than you guys even know. Just spending the whole day with me yesterday, helping me get everything moved around. I couldn't have gotten anything done yesterday without Jeff. So thank you, Jeff. Thank you so much for being a good friend and for being there for me yesterday and helping me out. I really, really appreciate it. And for all the rest of you who are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. You're going to see more of this truck on this channel. And how cool is this truck? Come on, you can't tell me it's not going to be cool. So if you want to see more of that, please subscribe. Please consider liking. Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. All that said, guys, if you don't work on your projects, they will not work on themselves. Get out in the garage, get building, and I'll see you on the next episode of Cody Builds.